Right now I'm kind of sitting on my chair. I have this whole UI in front of me, I have the ship around me, which looks absolutely beautiful in VR. Actually get rewarded sometimes for exploring it. And oof, like all these very close flights, they just feel so good. And I'll remind you that I'm not flying with a dual joystick HOTAS, you know? It's just a gamepad. Just an Xbox style gamepad. FPV spaceship piloting basically. And it felt so good to me. I decided like I gotta try it out. I tried it out, I fell in love with it for sure. We're going like this, and then doing something like this, and then going like that. And then one more power loop. And in VR it just looked crazy. And here I'm in a freaking spaceship, you know? So while doing this, like on a drone, like I switch shift like this, slow down with a strafe, look around back, push back like this. I'm not even playing that much, as in I'm just like enjoying my flights. I moved my whole UI box, not to the center, not in front of me, but a little bit higher and a little bit to the left. I'm aiming where my guns are. So my guns are more or less like shooting this way, and that's why I aim not with a crosshair, because it's also like it's to the top, I cannot really properly aim with it, and it's kind of useless already, but I aim with the place where my guns are shooting. So you see the object is right here, and this square is also in a very close vicinity of the object, and it's directly in front of me. And that's exactly where I'm going. So steel guns pointing at it, and that means it's around here. Let me see. Yeah, 700 meters, so it's very close. Yeah, you see, I can pull it already. Yeah, it's right there. Oof, wiggling around and finding it myself. So right now, yes, got it. So right now I pointed my sticks to the same area, which I'm used to seeing right in front of me.
It's time to find ourselves a hive.
And I got it. As you can see, without inertia dampeners, my speed is pretty high, actually. Surprisingly, right? Who's that? One more guy? Hello everyone, and today I just want to quickly show you how amazing Everspace 2 is in VR. I'm using UEVR mod, which is free, so I just launched the game right now, and I'm gonna choose this process here, Everspace 2. I'm injecting into it. The VR view will be open soon, so in my helmet the game slowly opens VR. As you can see, I'm right now inside already, but I want to make sure that my window is selected, so I'm coming back to my first screen and clicking my game window here, so to activate it, and double my menu button on Quest 2. I'm playing on Quest 2. So I'm setting my controllers away on the table because I don't need them anymore, and I'm picking up my gamepad. It's Xbox style gamepad, and what you might see immediately is that actually my screen is a little bit offset. So let me show it to you. I'll recenter it a little bit and even set the height again. Let's turn on virtual desktop fix here. The whole window right now, I'm looking exactly to the center of the screen. But as you can see, my UI screen is actually a little bit to the top and to the left. And I did it on purpose. The way I did it is here. It used to be like this, and it used to be lower. So as you can see, the whole in-game menu is a little bit higher and to the left. Alright, I'll remind that I'm using Xbox style controller. My controller, Flydigi Vader 2 Pro, I think. So it has like 4 additional buttons on the backside of the controller. But in general, the flight model I'm using, the flight binding I'm using, you definitely can use it with like any other flight controller. And also I will say that I'm using custom Steam bindings. And my Steam bindings are a little bit different in the sense that I made them so that when I speed up, I put up throttle forward and throttle backwards, so going forward, going backwards. I put it on left trigger and right trigger, and when I put right trigger completely full pull, the nitro, it kicks in, and as you can see, it gets lower. So, and if I press it halfway, which is soft pull in Steam bindings, I'm not using that nitro thing. Same thing I did for strafing up, down, and left, right, so up and down. If I push stick completely to the edge, outer binding says so that I also press left stick inside, which is basically default nitro binding. So it makes so that I don't need to put, if I want to use nitro, if I want to speed up anyway, up or down, left or right, I don't need to press additional left stick, which makes it way more comfortable for me to fly anywhere if I need to fly fast. So basically I never fully push stick, for example, left or right, up or down, unless I need some nitro. And then it kicks in and it just makes my flights more precise. Right now let me focus on these objects. So as you might know, as you remember, Everspace 2 works really great with UEVR actually, like it works marvelously. But at the same time, it does have its own problems. And the biggest problem is that these pointers, they move depending on how I move my head, which makes it quite unclear sometimes to figure out where is actually the enemy, or where is some resource. Like you'll see it later. What's that? Blueprint. And it's right here, this blueprint. And you can see that the icon of the blueprint is on the same level and actually kinda is pointing to the blueprint. I moved my whole UI box not to the center, not in front of me, but a little bit higher and a little bit to the left. And the reason I did it is exactly because with my scale, with my settings, with my resolution, with my Quest 2 helmet, with my everything, all the icons were showing actually a little bit to the bottom and to the right of actual objects. So right now, for example, I'll show you there is some, what is it? Ramen, 2.3 kilometers. And with me setting my frame like this, I'm sure, like, I'm aiming where my guns are. So my guns are more or less like shooting this way, and that's why I aim not with a crosshair, because it's also like it's to the top, I cannot really properly aim with it, and it's kind of useless already, but I aim with the place where my guns are shooting. And as you just saw, the object, I can pull it in. How far is it? 100 meters. And I can see that the object is right here. So you see the object is right here, and this square is also in a very close vicinity of the object. So whatever I'm looking for, any kind of resource, with this offset, like the offset could be different actually, so just look at your screen, fix your UI, look forward where your guns are shooting, kind of like just sit in this comfortable position, make sure you're not moving or drifting, because when you move and drift in Everspace 2 you also have a little bit of this offset. So like right now I'm kind of sitting on my chair, I have this whole UI in front of me, I have the ship around me, which looks absolutely beautiful in VR. And I just aim with my guns at the icon. So what's there? Was it plasma? Yeah, it was plasma. So 2 kilometers away, some plasma. And it's directly in front of me. And that's exactly where I'm going. So steel guns pointing at it, and that means it's around here. Let me see. Yeah, 700 meters. So it's very close. Let me come a bit closer. Yes, it's really close. There is some plasma around here. Any plasma whatsoever? Let's see. Yeah, you see? I can pull it already. Yeah, it's right there. Boom, found it. So, this way you can see that even when I was like finding enemies, shooting at enemies, I saw them perfectly. The only problem is, like, you actually need to point with your crosshair to be able to read what's there. Like right now, which makes me kind of like want to look up, but as soon as I look up, the icons shift down. So I need to keep on looking straight and point my crosshair at an object if I want to read it. And then, after I finish reading it, I'm like, yeah, sure, credits. How far? Once again, 2 kilometers. Not very comfortable, but okay, I get it. And now I'm flying towards these credits, and I'm sure I'll be able to pick them up. Okay, yeah, fly in, and I pick them up automatically. Same for these credits, how far it is? 700 meters. I'll pick them up right now. Boom, picked up. Any other icons? What's that? Valuable shipwreck. Awesome, let's find it. No idea where it is. I see some mines here. Let's blow up these mines. Let's blow them up. Once again, it's not the head aiming. I should aim with my whole... Okay, with my whole ship. And as you can see, the gun, the icon is pointing directly at the shipwreck, right? You see it? Like, I'm not making it up. If I'm looking away, it shows that it's to the left. If I'm looking away, it shows that it's to the right of my screen. If I'm just drifting left, it also moves. And I can see that, like, yeah, I'm flying in around it. And most of the time, if I keep the object in my gun crosshair, like, it perfectly shows it, right? You can see that. But once again, the whole UI is top left corner, which is a little bit uncomfortable, but it's way better than anything else, basically. So as you can see, I'm pointing not my crosshair, but once again, I'm pointing kind of my UI ahead. And yeah, what could you see? Right there, you see another enemy, and this UI is always kind of pointing at it anyway. So even shooting rockets is not a problem, because I just lock on it and I shoot it. The whole thing I started playing Everspace 2 is that I just liked first person flying here so much. And the reason I liked it is because it feels amazing in VR. The graphics are nice, environments are nice, flying up close makes a lot of sense. I'm playing on 3070 Ti and I got around 90 FPS. Let me actually show you my graphics settings. It's almost everything is on low, but I kinda like it. Graphics, window mode, disable, DirectX 11. Effects are medium, post-processing medium, and shading is medium. View distance is medium. No, view distance is everything, because I want to see everything. I'm not sure what SSGI is, probably I should fix it. Upscaler, DLSS. Motion blur, these are definitely should be off. And textures, what about textures? Textures also mediums. Oh, actually I got medium settings here, not bad. And this medium settings with DLSS to performance give me 90 FPS. That was me talking about UI, the main thing everyone are complaining. And once in a while I would check distance like this, like 2.5 kilometers, very close already. I know that it's close. And then if it's getting close, I can start drifting to the side, fly around it, to nail down directly where it is. And then I see, like, oh, you see that lonely object in space flying around? It's definitely my container, you see? Once again, I'll drift around it. I could even, like, roll a little bit, roll down. And yeah, the icon stays there. So that's it. Now what I want to talk about is inertia. The flight model was not interesting. And it was not interesting because, you see, inertia dampeners on. Right now, I turned off inertia. So basically, whatever I'm doing and whatever way I'm moving, it's as if I'm in the water. And in the water, I stop move, and there is a friction between water and object. And water slows down everything. So right now, it feels that I'm actually in the water. And flying here, while is still not bad, I can fly, but it just feels too static. Too static and not interesting. And right now I turn off inertia dampeners. So right now inertia dampeners off, and I'm not touching my controls, and you will see that I will endlessly keep flying. So whatever direction, whatever force I give to my ship, I just keep on flying. And what's nice about it is that when I fly forward and then I just look at this object, I look all around it, I just rotate, but I'm not using my engine, and I can fly back. So for example, if enemy is attacking me, I can fly around it, and while I keep looking at it, flying back, flying away, I can still shoot it. and it feels really nice and natural. But the biggest thing, actually the whole point of this video, well, the reason why I wanted to make, I'm playing on Xbox controller. I'm not even playing on HOTAS or HOSAS system. And I just wanted to show you that in VR, like, I know you will not feel it because it's not in 3D, right, on YouTube. And it's not a side-by-side video, it's just a usual video with even shitty quality. But actually, here, I'm full 3D cockpit, I'm flying around, and the thing is that the flight model, like the controls which I set for myself, since I have Xbox gamepad, I set them in a way that they absolutely, very closely, they repeat FPV flights. So, if you know how to fly an FPV drone, and you always kind of wanted to try out flying in 3D, because to those who doesn't know, the FPV drones, unless it's something you made yourself, all of them fly with a flat screen. All these DJI Avatar and like lots of custom drones and whatnot, they all fly with a flat screen, and you don't have any like 3D feeling of it, you just fly with a flat screen. But here in VR, I'm flying and I feel the scale, and I feel the distance between objects. Right now that was really close, and that's like, oof, sends chills to me, but at the same time it's so fun and wonderful. And right now, of course, like, I'm flying spaceship and I can move, not like drone, but I can move anyway, up, down, left, right. I can also roll, like I can do with a drone. I do have forward and backward thrust, which you don't have on a drone. But in general, it's very close to how I fly my drone. Like up, down, left stick for going up, down, and then pitch is on the right stick, then roll is on the right stick, and yaw is on the left stick. I think when people play space games, space flying games, people don't really set bindings like this. And also I have strafing left and right is my RBLB buttons, like shift buttons on a controller. So, of course, when we fly a real FPV drone, it doesn't have that much flexibility, and it also doesn't have this limitless space inertia. So it will take a little bit of time to adjust with thrust and whatnot. But at the same time, I can do this in 3D. All these like crazy flips and rolls and like, I don't know, power loops. Like, let's do a classic FPV power loop around this thing. We're going like this, and then doing something like this, and then going like that, and then one more power loop, and in VR just look crazy. And here I'm in a freaking spaceship, you know? So while doing this, like on a drone, like I switch shift like this, slow down with a strafe, look around back, push back like this, and it's just insane how tight and how cool you can get with your flights. So actually, majority of my gameplay here, I'm not even playing that much, as in I'm just like enjoying my flights. And it's absolutely amazing. And the beautiful part is that the game actually rewards you for exploration. Like, you explore in this game and you can find some nice loot. It's nothing like really crazy amazing and something, but it feels so cool that all these 3D objects, all these derelict ship stations and something what was abandoned long time ago and whatnot, that you can not only fly inside, but you actually get rewarded for sometimes for exploring it. And oof, like all these very close flights, they just feel so good. And I'll remind you that I'm not flying with a dual joystick HOTAS, you know? It's just a gamepad. Just an Xbox style gamepad. If you would want to do the same flying, boom, yeah, that was a crash. If you would want to do the same flying, you would have a little bit of trouble with shooting if you're playing on classic Xbox gamepad, just because there is not enough of buttons really. So you would need like 2 more additional buttons on the back of the gamepad to comfortably shoot guns. But other than that, plus you can still like customize it a little bit. You can give up strafes somehow, even though for this game strafes are very important, but I noticed that if I'm flying like I'm flying with a drone, quite often I can do just vertical strafes and they would feel like horizontal ones, you know? Like I'm flying somewhere, I need a strafe, I just turn like this and do up-down strafe instead of left and right. Because once again, it's space and anything is a floor as long as it's at the bottom, you know? Like, I'm not sure how impressive it looks on a flat screen. I'm not sure how interesting it would look to an average gamer. But I think to anyone who was at least at some point interested in FPV and never thought or ever actually tried flying an FPV drone, he would be just absolutely blown away how awesome it feels here. Like, once again, it's full-on VR, you know? Like, I can always do like this beautiful side drifting thing, so to say. And I'm just like, okay, where am I drifting? Right now I'm going with my back. Boom. I'm going forward. That was a close call, but that was fine. And if I need to slow down, I can. And if I need to drift right, I can, which you cannot really do on the drone comfortably. And if you cannot drift like precise, you can just always turn around a little bit and make it a vertical drift, or yeah, basically a vertical drift. Instead of left and right, turn 90 degrees and make it your new up and down. And I'll tell you that, of course, the person which had never tried FPV before, or if you're new to VR, you could get motion sick for sure. Even I am sometimes when I'm doing too much of this, like for 2-3 hours and just rolling around and whatnot, I could start feeling like a little bit dizzy, queasy and whatnot. Condition helps, cold, temperature, low temperature in the room helps. But in general, just don't push yourself, be comfortable. As long as it's too much, just it's time to slow down then. Also, what's important is frame rate, so I definitely recommend targeting 90 frame rate for this game. If you can do 120 and your helmet supports it, perfect, 120 is even better. Just because the smoothness of flying between like 60 and 90, the difference is huge. And I would totally recommend to go for it. Like, check it out. I'm not sure if I would be able to squeeze in here, but I'll try. I know that if yeah, absolutely. I know that if I would be playing on PC, I wouldn't even be really that interested in like doing all of this stuff, just because it's like, what can I gain from it, you know? I don't receive any loot if I do this cool power loop thing here. Boom, okay, smacked. Yeah, I'm not perfect, I'm only learning, but just when you're in VR, it looks so amazingly cool. And once again, when you fight against a lot of enemies, actually, like all these aerobatics, they help a lot, because I'm right now playing with the smallest ship, and this smallest ship cannot take a lot of damage. I'm also playing on normal difficulty actually, so maybe at some point I will crank it up, because it's a little bit too easy with all the fights. Just they don't really hit me, and I rarely get any damage at all. Yeah, I stuck a little bit, and that's okay. So you know, like, you damage yourself and it's fine. Just as long as you keep on having fun.
Sticky situation here.
Oh, I'm getting attacked. Alright. Finally.
There he is.
Oh, I didn't even notice that I turned off my UI. Yeah, they destroyed my shields. Okay. Yeah, okay. I was kinda lying when I said that I never receive any damage at all. As you can see, they do hit me sometimes. Let me quickly show you warp, because warping between planets, basically between locations, is the biggest problem, the biggest deal why people think that it's not VR ready yet. I'll show you the UI. Warping now, as you can see, UI once again as before in the top left corner. And with this offset right now, like if I'm moving my like I don't have a crosshair, right? Make sure you're not missing your stuff. Oh, that's a very good example, I'll show you. So you're always moving when you do warp jumps. and right now I keep the same posture on the chair, but I don't see my ship, so I don't know, like, I have only muscle memory of how it feels. And right now I'm just going to wiggle left and right. Yeah, you see, I saw that autopilot thing. So almost. So basically right now it's the worst example because the object is really close to where I need to go, and I cannot just like click it or something. I can go to flat screen actually and like turn off the mod and do it in flat screen. But I'm okay with just wiggling around and finding it myself. So right now, yes, got it. So right now I pointed my sticks to the same area which I'm used to seeing right in front of me.
It's time to find ourselves a hive.
And I got it.
I'll check the AI units of those ships.
Okay,
And I'll keep watch for newcomers. The longer we linger, the more trouble will come our way.
Let's just blast.
Something about this place seems oddly familiar.
Blasting. Okay. Okay. And we're blasting. And we're blasting. Auto fire is in. Not auto fire, auto aim is in. As you can see, without inertia dampeners, my speed is pretty high, actually. Okay, who else? Well, we got one more bot there. Come on, shoot him. Over there we got one more bot. As you can see, like, icons, they do work. Surprisingly, right? Who's that? One more guy? Okay. That was really close. And I'll show you that actually the view, like the space view, feels really good as well. Not the third person view, but the first person view. Where is the guy? Okay, the first person view, where I don't see the ship, but I see everything 360 around me. And if I look around, I still see my guns. So those are my guns shooting. Nice. Yes, here they are. Enemy or friend? Yeah, that's a friend. You see this green mark? And also at any moment, I can turn off my UI. Since I have more buttons, I just use them sometimes. And it just looks so beautiful. Like, if you don't want any UI standing between you and your flight, you totally can. I use this view though mostly either in a battle or when I'm navigating, like looking for things, especially in close quarters. But for example, right now I want to squeeze in through this ship, through this hole. And I'll show you that it's totally possible. Like right now, let's fly back. Okay. Around, do my drone thing, change a little bit perspective. Okay, didn't squeeze in properly. That's okay. So the game is quite lenient, even if you still think, you know. But once again, this is awesome new location, and I'm already happy to fly around here and enjoy it as much as possible. Like, there are some things to find and loot for. Let me see, like, objects. You see this big green thing, sparkling thing? That's definitely something. What is it? That's color, new color for my ship. So I'm just gonna fly and pick it up. Picked it up. What else do we got? We got another power socket. Let's pick up some item. Yeah, like another color. I don't even need to like look at it in the UI. I just see it's over there. So I'm gonna fly and pick it up. Okay.
Give me those credits.
Yeah, and I got it. So if you would tell me that the game is unplayable, I kind of disagree. It's definitely not the most comfortable experience because of the float UI thing, right? You see, like, I move my head and UI floats as well. But at the same time, for me, it's absolutely playable and it feels amazing. And right now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna keep flying around this new beautiful area. Like, same thing I do in real life with FPV drones, you know? Like, you got an FPV drone, you got a nice area where you can fly around without like, endangering, harming anyone and whatnot. And you just blast it. But there you limit it with batteries and it's only flat. And here, it's a full-on 3D, and like while I'm going with my side, I can navigate like this, and then I'm like, let's go down and float around it, and let's do some really nice roll. That was a bit too fast, but we managed it. And then squeeze in here, and then do another roll, and strafe a little bit, then go up, and go like this, and keep looking up, and just keep flying around it, for example. Should you want to do that? I don't know, like, how it could not be enjoyable. Unless you only have, like, heavy motion sickness, then sure. If it's unplayable, it's unplayable. But for everyone else, I totally recommend to try it out. AI unit 1.2 kilometers. Let me find it quickly. Like, very quickly I'll find it. Okay, it's floating here, higher. That means that it is around there somewhere. Probably in that building, right? Yeah, it's right there in that corner. So can I fly in from here? Let me check. Alright, I definitely can. And it looks like it's right there. Let me pick up that object. Look left, release and throw it away. Go a bit back, pick it up. Throw it away. Alright. Yeah, I think. Yeah, right there. Let's go. What do we got here? Close, close, careful. Slowly moving. Huh? Hack terminal. Sure, let me hack it. Don't forget, like, I have my
This one's on the fritz.
This is so amazing. Like, as long as I can do this, I'm gonna keep on doing it. And I can because this is so amazing. And then you can go back and retreat like this. And then you shoot again and do another circle and then do some crazy roll, look up in 3D. And then just keep squeezing in, and then like let's blast through some hole over there. Okay, shift, up, keep shifting, I can squeeze through, and then down here, and then to the side here, and then let's fly out here. That's just amazing. And I liked it so much, I'll say. I liked it so much, this flying. Never was a space sim fan, actually. I'm a VR fan, definitely a huge VR fan. But I never was a space sim fan or flying fan in general. But I picked it up. I felt the potential for FPV here, like really FPV spaceship piloting basically. And it felt so good to me. I decided like I gotta try it out. I tried it out, I fell in love with it for sure. And right now I'm waiting for my HOSAS to arrive, which is hand-on stick on stick. So hand on two sticks, basically double joystick, double flight stick setup. I bought VKB Evo Gladiators NXT, 2 of those, with Omni grips. And I think I'll shoot a video after, I'll set them up and get used to them a little bit. The main reason is that right now I kinda don't feel that I have enough of control over my throttle and gas, but what's most important, I don't have an analog control, because my strafing left and right, I don't have analog control over my strafing, because right now my strafing is digital. I click a button and I start to move right, or I hold it and I move right with a boost. I did it through Steam input actually, but I cannot just carefully move right as I can with my rolls, for example. So you can see my rolls could be very slow and pitch could be very slow, or I could roll faster. And it's really important when you do this, like smooth close flights. So yeah, I thought I just want to try that out, that double joystick setup. And I'll still keep it like basically almost the same bindings as I do right now on a Xbox stick, just because I put so many, like dozens of hours in FPV flights, and I kind of have muscle memory for all of it. And for me right now, relearning the classic axis of like spacing flights just doesn't make any sense. I better keep it a little bit unconventional, but since it's for me, who cares? Yeah, this is just simply. And yeah, don't forget, it's Tolman VR in a very smooth, beautiful, good-looking VR. And the thing that this game actually, like, there are many space games, right? But this game actually rewards you for doing this stuff, for flying very close, for looking into every nook and cranny on these like old ships. Sometimes there is some really cool stuff hidden, like in-game terms, cool stuff like gun or some rare resource. And it just looks good. It just looks good. And these environments are small enough and big enough at the same time for it to be interesting and feel it like FPV flights. Because a lot of spacing games, you just fly around asteroids in a huge space, and there is no big reason to be like really complicated about it and like maneuver and feel inertia and whatnot, just because, I don't know, you're just flying around in an empty space, and you don't need to be that picky and specific with all your like flying techniques, I would say. And I'm not a big PvP guy, so like Star Citizen stuff I'm not really interested in. But here, doing this thing here just sends me chills every time I'm doing some really cool flight. So yeah, if you're an FPV fan, playing a game like this is a blast in VR. Even with Xbox joysticks. Like, if you want to try it out for flight only, just download a demo, it's free on Steam. Everspace 2 demo. I played it for like 10-15 hours probably, even though there is, if you're actually gaming it on PC with mouse and keyboard, there is content probably for a few hours at most. But I was flying around it all the time, and like after 10-15 hours I decided, yeah, I want to grab a full version. It's totally worth it. It's amazing. And here I am, enjoying it, and I hope you will enjoy it too. Yeah. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.